right, welcome back. Today is Friday, April the 10th. Your assignment yesterday was to read chapter 9 on page 10, answer question number 2, and on page 11, write your summary for chapter 9 after you finished reading the chapter, about 4 or 5 words to describe what happened in the sentence or in the chapter. I want to go back a little further, back to chapter 8. I have a few questions. I want to ask you, because I was thinking about it, why does the author put certain comments into the story? And a lot of times we'll read through a story really quickly and not think about it, but I want you to stop long enough to think about it. In chapter 8, it tells us that Opal noticed something about the shop. And we've talked about what she noticed, and it was the dirt on the floor. So she was noticing the picky things. And we know animals make all kinds of messes, so things needed to be cleaned up. Another thing is, what did she notice about Otis? I thought it was quite interesting that she noticed this. Do you remember what it was when he was talking to her? He didn't look up. He was looking down at the counter. And I thought about that. I'm like, why did he do that? What was the reason for this? And the author put it in there, so I'm going to guess somewhere in the story, we're going to find out why he doesn't look up at her, because she took the time to tell us in this part of the story. So just remember that he was looking down. So it makes me kind of wonder, was he shy? Was he afraid? He didn't like talking to people? I don't know. We're going to find out a little bit more once we get going into the story when she's working there, I'm going to guess. And what did the bird not like? The bird didn't like dogs. And then a question or a statement that Opal made at the very end to Winn-Dixie. I thought it was quite interesting. She says, man, he can make friends with anyone. How about Opal? Do you think she can make friends with anyone? Does she figure people out as she go? This dog seems to be really smart. And so questions just to think about. They don't all have an answer. But I haven't read ahead in the story. I read the story a long time ago, but I've forgotten exactly how it goes, and I didn't want to go ahead. I'm reading with you each day so that I'm at the exact same point you are. And like I said, your perspective changes if you read ahead. So it's better just to stay with the story. In the end, you could take an AR test, though. All right. So chapter 9 is what you read last night. And the summary of chapter 9, Opal was riding her bike. And there's these two boys. Were they twins? No. Were they identical? Pretty close. They looked alike because their haircut, all their hair was gone. Mom shaved it off. All right, so in the story, they were following her. And so she's riding faster, and Winn-Dixie takes off, running ahead, and he runs into this area. What is it that the boys taunt her with? There's a witch there, and the witch is going to eat him, and, she has to decide, am I going to believe them? Because remember, she's new to the area. She hasn't met a lot of people. But Winn-Dixie's up there, and that's her dog. She doesn't want anything to happen to Winn-Dixie. She hears what they're saying, and she takes the risks because it's overgrown. She can't see Winn-Dixie. She's going to go, and they're like, oh, she's going to eat the dog for dinner and have you for dessert, and they go off, and Winn-Dixie enters. And she finds Winn-Dixie eating something. What was it? Peanut butter. Do dogs like peanut butter? Oh, yeah. They will work on peanut butter for a long time if you give it to them. And so she meets the lady, and there she meets, what was her name? Do you remember? It was Gloria Dump. And she described her. Do you remember the description of her? She was wrinkled skin. She had false teeth. She couldn't see very well. But as she's sitting there and she's talking to her, she actually offers a peanut butter sandwich to Opal. So she makes two, and they have a sandwich, and they have a nice little talk. And at the very end, she asks Opal to tell her about herself. Now, why does she ask her to tell her about herself? Because she couldn't see very well. And so she listens with her heart. So she wanted Opal to tell her a little bit about her. So she wasn't just trying to see her from what we see, because people could put up a false pretense of what they're like. But she wanted to see what she was like on the inside, what made Opal tick. And so that's where this chapter ends. I think it's pretty cool. What does it make us, what makes us real? People see us sometimes, but they don't really know what we're like on the inside, what goes on up here. Sometimes it comes out and sometimes it doesn't. All right. So that was chapter 9. And last night you had to read that and go to page 10, number 2. You were to answer this question. It says, Opal meets Gloria Dump when? A, when Dixie runs into Gloria's yard. B, Gloria attends a church service. C, Opal takes Winn-Dixie to the vet. Or D, Opal visits the library. And I hope you chose letter A. Also, you had to go to page 11. Oh, nope, sorry. Yes, we did number 2. Page 11. I asked you to put a summary for chapter 9 when you read that. I am not saying what I wrote. I want you to write something. Is there a right and a wrong? No. What you write is supposed to remind you in just a few words what the chapter was about. It makes a quick summary, and then we're going to put 5 chapters into the title and make another summary of what we have going on. All right. So you had to do that. Now, we have met a new character. Do you think that character is someone that's important? I do. Let's put her in there into our character chart. Go to page 41. All right, and we are going to put Gloria Dump, so Gloria, and then Dump is D-U-M-P. That's her name. All right, and an important fact about her. Now, these are facts, not opinions. So think about the description that she had. Okay, so she was wrinkly, had false teeth, couldn't see. So what's one word that you could use to describe all of that? You could say she was older. Don't say she was old. Don't do that. Say older. All right, sounds a little nicer. Okay, was she nice or was she mean? Right, she was nice. So I'm just going to put nice, easy word to spell and describe. She was willing to share. She gave Winn-Dixie peanut butter and she made sandwiches for both of them. So I'm going to put that she's sharing type of person. She was willing to give. And one other thing, you'll find out even more when you read today's chapter, but she listens. Okay, that's important. Do you have someone that listens to you that you can spend time talking to? Oh, my grandma was that person for me. I could get on the phone and yak for 25 minutes nonstop because she would listen to me instead of talk over me, which I'm guilty of doing to people. They say something, I'm like, oh yeah. But my grandma was a really good listener. I hope that you have a good listener in your life as well. All right, now today's assignment takes a little longer because it's finishing up this section, chapters 6 through 10. So I'm going to put it up here so you can see it and copy it. Again, your teacher's going to either email it or put it up on the website as well. But you're going to read chapter 10. On page 11, you're going to write the summary for chapter 10, just like we did 6, 7, and 8 together. And you did 9, and now you're going to do 10. Just a few words. On page 11, the next part, it says, what is your favorite part of this section? It's chapters 6 through 10. It doesn't have to be super long, but you need to make sure that you answer those questions as part of your grade. Everyone's answer is going to be different. And then make sure that you're writing down words that are new and give it a title for chapter 6 through 10. You have a summary in front of you, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 when you finish it. And then take those 5 summarizations and put it into one and give it a title. We'll talk about that on Monday as well. Draw a little picture that goes with your title. Remember, it doesn't have to be fancy. I just want to see that you're doing this. All right, go back to page 9. Did you list 5 adjectives yet? If not, make sure you have that done. Okay, I want you to have a fantastic weekend, do something fun, and I will talk to you on Monday. See you then.